Hi, I'm Jason Mastrodonato. This is Anthony Galizia, and you are watching the Huddle on Boston.com. We're here today to talk about the high school football top 100, and when you look at what we have, especially the top 1, 2, and 3, Anthony, there's really not too many surprises, is there?
No, I was going to say, Barnstable is the clear number one here with their win over Everett a few weeks ago, but I think that, you can make a case and debate for teams like Everett or Duxbury.
When you look at what Everett's been able to accomplish, and even though they're only 5-1, I see a case that you could say that they are possibly a number one team. I mean, they lost to Barnstable, so it's really hard to put them ahead of a team like that. But when you look at the records against teams that they've played, Everett is 23-13 is the strength. I'm sorry, the teams that they've played against are 23-13 as opposed to Barnstable 16-18 and Duxbury 13-21. Now you've seen Everett and Duxbury both battle it out with Xaverian. Who impressed you more in those games?
Well, I think that Everett, had a much more convincing win over over Xaverian. Duxbury had, the game almost taken right away from them when DJ Pagliuca had a touchdown in the end zone that was called back for an illegal formation penalty, which, to many it was unclear where the illegal shift was, and then even after that, Joe DiNucci had a pass slip right through his fingertips in the end zone with about 15 seconds left that also would have sealed the game. Now, Austin Dakar passed through Duxbury secondary for 240 yards, and against
the Xaverian quarterback.
The Xaverian quarterback, yep. And against Everett, he was sacked 4 times and saved for a 68-yard touchdown pass to Pagliuca. He was pretty much contained by Everett's front line. So I think Everett definitely with the more convincing win over Xaverian than Duxbury.
Now, the interesting thing here, too, is that we could see Everett and Barnstable play each other again, and it wouldn't be until the Super Bowl. And, Everett's been pretty impressive, and I think when you talk about the fact that they haven't been able to put a complete performance together yet, and Coach John DiBiase will be the first one to tell you that, it'll be interesting to see what they're capable of as we get further into the season. But for you, still Barnstable, the number one team.
Yeah, I think, by way of them beating Everett, it was a sloppy game. The weather conditions weren't the greatest, but Barnstable did win that game, and for now, they're the number one team.
Another thing, that we definitely should talk about today is there have been a couple of defenses in Eastern Massachusetts that have been incredibly surprising, maybe not surprising, but incredibly impressive. When you look at what Reading's been able to do, averaging just 4 points allowed per game, and even Stoughton averaging just 5.5 points allowed per game. You've seen Reading a lot. I mean, what do you think of these defenses?
Well, I think what's impressed about Reading is their core of linebackers is extremely young. And Zach Krugman is anchoring their middle linebacker spot, and he's a senior, but until this year he hasn't really started at the position. And they also have Liam Keneally, a junior, who has also held strong for them. But I think what helps Reading is first and foremost Dave Blanchard, the defensive coordinator, is an incredible coach, and the players will be the first to tell you that. And when I had gone out and talked to them a few weeks ago, they the first person that they attributed with their success wasn't themselves, but it was Coach Blanchard. But they do have Greg Connery, a senior safety, who really anchors that secondary, and Matt Comerford, who is a 6'4" offensive lineman, also
an incredible lacrosse goalie.
An incredible lacrosse goalie, yes, is a great anchor for the defensive line, and he's really helped them out.
Reading, no question, has been very impressive, and being a Division II team as opposed to Stoughton being a Division III team, it's hard to compare this a little bit. But I got to say, the math, I added up the total points per game, the average points per game for each of the opposing teams that Reading has played and that Stoughton has played. So the offenses that Reading has kept to 4 points per game have averaged 17.8 points per game this year. Stoughton, on the other hand, 20.75 points per game. So they've played maybe some more high-powered offenses. Again, hard to tell with the divisions. But I saw Stoughton play against North Attleboro the other night, and just incredible what they were able to do. I mean, North Attleboro, time after time, could not get the ball going. They had one really impressive drive, and obviously they were missing their star running back. But it was a very impressive performance all around for Stoughton's defense. Another thing we wanted to talk about today was a couple teams that have really been surging into the top 100 of late. And one of the teams, Anthony, is a team that we really liked coming into this year, which is Westford Academy, who we thought is just going to have this high-powered offense, and they spread the ball, and they may struggle a little bbit on defense if they can't make tackles, which we've seen at times. But what's been going on with them? I mean, they've won 5 in a row since losing opening day to Chelmsford.
I I was going to say, a lot has changed since that opener with Chelmsford, and the biggest thing has been the return of quarterback Troy Ferretra. He had separated his shoulder last season in the 4th game of the year, and he missed more time than they thought he was going to, and he was out all year. And he was able to come back for his basketball season, but he was still out for the first 2 games of the season and came back against Malden Catholic. And since he's come back, wide receiver Justin Mount has been able to go back to his normal position, and Ferretra has been able to get the ball to him with ease. I mean, in 4 games, he's hit him 5 times already for a touchdown. And Mount has also been able to rush out of the backfield for 10 touchdowns. So you really see their spread offense coming full circle. And when Ferretra went down, Mount filled in at quarterback, and Coach Rich McKenna had to kind of tailor the offense towards a more option look so Justin could run. And if you talk to them, they'll all joke about they call Justin Noodle Arm. But they're glad that Troy's back and that Troy's able to stay under center.
Yeah, Coach McKenna obviously a big fan of Justin and the way that he was able to fill in. But he'll be the first to tell you there aren't many, if any, defensive backs who can stop Justin Mount in one-on-one coverage. I mean, he's tough to beat. So having him out as natural position maybe in receiver, helping them a lot. Westford's still just outside the top 20 for now, but another win could certainly propel them into it. So that wraps it up for us this week. You can check out all of our work on boston.com/schools, and maybe we'll see you next week.